Hi, first grade. Happy Tuesday. So, today we're going to be looking at synthesizing again. So, we're going to remember that we want to try and gain new information. And we already did it yesterday when we looked at the story for the first time. But sometimes reading a book more than once helps us to notice new things. So, we want to try and practice synthesizing again today. We're going to look at a new anchor chart. I want you to think about if you've ever gone on a plane. Now, if you haven't, I still want you to kind of imagine with me. If you're on a plane and you look out the window and you see clouds, just clouds, a ton of clouds in the sky, will the clouds tell you where you are? Probably not. So, in synthesizing, we think about being on a plane. And as you get closer to your destination, things become clearer and clearer. So if you're on a plane and that plane is up in the air and then it starts getting closer to where you're going, you're going to see more. Maybe you're going to see the Willis Tower or the Bean. And if you see those things, you might say, I know we're in Chicago. Maybe you see the Statue of Liberty and then you would know we're not in Chicago. So as you get closer to the destination, things become clearer. And that's the same with reading. The more you read a book, the more information you gain. And as you gain more and more information, your reading will make more sense. So today we're going to read the story again. We're going to stop at a few spots, nothing too crazy, and just kind of discuss some of our noticings. So as you're reading, I want you to look at pictures or look at the words that we're reading and see if you can figure out some new things or observe some new things. And then after we read our story today, we have another activity you'll do on the next slide. All right. Jabari jumps. Jabari jumps. By Gia Cornwall. I'm jumping off the diving board today, Jabari told his dad. Really? Said his dad. The diving board was high and maybe a little scary. But Jabari had finished his swimming lessons and passed his swim test, and now he was ready to jump. Have any of you taken swim classes? Did that make you feel more confident in doing your swimming? I'm a great jumper, said Jabari. So I'm not scared at all. Jabari watched the other kids climb the long ladder. They walked all the way to the end of the board, as big as tiny bugs. So if we notice when he makes that comparison, if we look at the person jumping, we notice because they're far away, they look a lot smaller than Jabari. So he's seeing them and they look much smaller because they're so far away. Then they stood on the edge. They spread their arms and bent their knees and sprang up, 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 and then dove down, down, down. Splash! Looks easy, Jabari said. But when his dad squeezed his hand, Jabari squeezed back. So we said he might be a little bit nervous if he's squeezing his hand. Jabari stood at the bottom of the ladder. He looked up. You can go before me if you want, he told the kid behind him. I need to think about what kind of special jump I'm going to do. Jabari thought and thought. This was that part yesterday we said we were starting to realize that maybe Jabari wasn't feeling quite as confident as he thought. Jabari started to climb up and up. This ladder is very tall, he thought. "Are you okay?" called his dad. "I'm just a little tired," said Jabari. "Maybe you should climb down and take a tiny rest," said his dad. A tiny rest sounded like a good idea. When he got to the bottom, Jabari remembered something. "I forgot to do my stretches," he said to his dad. "Stretching is very important," said his dad. I want you to think, do you think Jabari's dad knows that he's nervous right now? Why do you think he might know he's nervous? Turn and talk with a friend. What do you think? Do you think Jabari's dad knows how he's feeling? Can you make a connection with that? Do your parents sometimes know how you feel even if you don't say it? "I think tomorrow might be a better day for jumping," Jabari said. They looked up at the diving board together. "It's okay to feel a little scared," said his dad. "Sometimes if I feel scared, I take a deep breath and I tell myself I am ready. And you know what? Sometimes it stops feeling scary and it feels like a surprise." Jabari loved surprises. So right now we might use that word encouragement. And we might say that Jabari's dad is giving him some encouragement and helping him to be brave. How is he doing that? Can you tell me? How is Jabari's dad helping him? How is he giving him encouragement? Can you make a connection and think of a time you were given encouragement or a time that you gave someone else encouragement? Jabari took a deep breath and felt it fill his body from the ends of his hair right down to the tips of his toes. Jabari looked up. He began to climb. Up and up and up and up until he got to the top. Jabari stood up straight. He walked all the way to the end of the board. His toes curled around the tough edge. Jabari looked out as far as he could see. He felt like he was ready. "I love surprises," he whispered. What gave Jabari the courage to get to the top of the ladder and to the end of the diving board? What is giving him courage? Can you think about it? And also, do you think it would have been easier for Jabari to just give up? Do you think this is hard for him? I would bet he's still pretty scared. Don't you think it would have been easier to give up? Why do you think he didn't give up? Why do you think he chose to be brave? He took a deep breath and spread his arms and bent his knees. And then he sprang up off the board, flying. Jabari hit the water with a splash. Notice my onomatopoeia in my action. So they use that sound word. Down, down, down he went. And then back up. Whoosh. How do you think Jabari is feeling right now? Maybe about himself. How does he feel? And how do you know? Because they don't tell you. So we inferred from this page how Jabari feels. How do we think he feels? "Jabari, you did it," said his dad. "I did it," said Jabari. "I'm a great jumper. And you know what?" "What?" said his dad. "Surprise! Double backflip is next." Do you think Jabari was scared to go on again? How do you know how he's feeling for this page? Because again, they aren't telling you. This was a lot of inferring. All right, first grade. Great job. I want you to think about some new things you noticed. Maybe about what Jabari was doing or saying, or what Jabari's dad was doing. I think we looked a lot more at Jabari's dad and the encouragement he gave and made those connections about how you can be like his dad too, how you can encourage others and make people feel brave. So, today we're going to keep looking at synthesizing, and we're really going to look at how we can look at things and they become clearer and clearer the more we read. We're going to do it with a puzzle activity next. So, go ahead to the next slide. We're going to look at the anchor chart a little bit more, and then we'll do our activity.